Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We have something rather special for you today. A show and tell from 2006. It's pretty interesting. We'll be adding that in at around 5 minutes in this video. I hope you enjoy it, and welcome back to another ERWA Archives. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye.
Salmon. Now, I'm sure every one of you that has attended any of the trade shows will remember multi-salmon. If you read the Home Handyman, you'll know multi-salmon. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time. Multi will talk for himself. Multi, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Can you guys hear me? I want the mic. You need to turn something, you need to realize that at the end of it, you'll see as I go along that on the end here, you're going to have a little bit of a block, with other words, wastage. You have to accommodate for that. Okay, sorry. You have to accommodate for it, so that, with other words, if you have to trim it off, you don't have a problem. Cool. You can set this. This is your stops. Okay, sorry for the claws in your way there. What you need to do is you set your router. Now, if you've got a big block on this, all you need to do is take your Allen key and lift this. I'm going to actually lift it so you guys can see that it can be lifted quite high. So with other words, see there, that accommodates for the bigger pieces of timber that needs to go in there. And obviously it's got a piece in the front if you'd like to come and show the people here as well. It's got a stud in front that you can set so that that will keep it level. Okay, obviously with a little shoe at the front. So what I do is in this case, I'll lift it up slightly, make sure it's fairly level. It doesn't ding against your timber. Right. So once that's set up, you're fine. Also what you can do is, instead of just turning round pieces, you can actually turn this at a taper. If you'd like to, you can release two bolts on the side here, lift it up, so with other words, your taper becomes more acute or less. Now the beauty with this is if you have a lathe, what you'll find is if you want to reproduce exactly, you can't do that because you need a router, a copy attachment. Except if you're a pro, or you use your verniers or your outside calipers, I think you do, Ari, then you can reproduce. But I mean, for the normal lay person, this is easier, because what you do is you adjust your depth and you just keep on running until it's round, and that's it. And you take one piece out, put another piece in, and so you can produce quite a number of exactly the same dimensions on your timber, which makes it already simple. It cannot do faceplate work, only longitudinal, not latitudinal turn pieces. Okay. Any questions so far? Remember, I'm going to ask you, you'd like to test afterwards, huh? Yes, sir.
Do you have a works manual on this thing?
Yes, sir. It comes with a small little pamphlet. It's about 4 pages long, or wide. So it basically tells you, in short, how to set up the router lathe, how to operate it, and by using or changing your bits, you can achieve different patterns on it.
Can I ask you about the wire that you've got around there? What is that?
So this is to strangle somebody with. If you don't want them close to you, just strangle them and hold them and they will take along. No, all due respect, what will happen is, once I've rounded the piece of timber, this I actually use to do my barleys. With other words, I'm not sure if you've got another name for it, but I call it barleys. With other words, your barley twists. You can have a left barley, or a left turning barley, or a right turning barley, depending on how you put the cable over the two pulleys. You have 3 pulleys on the side here, which then determines the actual pitch of your barley, whether it's going to be elongated or tighter. If you use a wider, longer, a bigger pulley, it's going to be elongated. If you use a small pulley, it will be more tight. Okay. Right, so I'm going to make a lot of noise. What I will do, however, is I'm going to switch the microphone off, otherwise half of you guys are going to be deaf. Just till I've got it round. Okay.
Around, I've had two kinds of coatings on it. The one is a clear coat done by a motor car spraying people, and the other one is just with the ordinary aerosol. But it does come out. It's a lovely wood. It's a nice looking wood, and soos die Afrikaners sê, hy vertoon baie mooi. It's a nice type of looking wood anyway. So we'll pass it around. Have a look.
For the camera.
Sorry.
And the bottom. Thank you.
There you go. Now we're on camera. Thank you very much.
Okay. Last year at Christmas, just before December, the kids were around, I was in the workshop, and they were bothering me. So I said, please, Daddy, make some. So I started making this great bazooka. Actually, it wasn't. My plan was to get them to play with these things the whole day, leave me alone. But it didn't work that way, because I had to show them how to use them, and then spend the whole day playing with them with these things. These are stilts. I was going to get Dolphy to help me here, but he doesn't seem to want to. It's basically two pieces of 38 by 38 branding and a piece of moraine teeth at the bottom. Nothing special. You can build it in 2 minutes. And yeah, quick demo. If I fall, don't laugh. Not so good as my kids, but anyway.
Good evening, everybody. Since it's the wood of the month, jacaranda, I bought a football which we've been using now for the last 3 years. This is one. I'll leave it here, and if anybody wants to see it. And there's another small ball. I think that was my second effort in turning, of very wet, and it has warped quite a bit. On to the show and tell. I've had some offcuts, and I made a couple of toys for the grandchildren. So it's a quad bike, a trailer, and a jeep. And the other thing is a tow truck. My grandchild is mad about tow trucks, so I had to make one. Thank you.
I was privileged to get a piece of wood from a lady, and I made this little table. I was convinced it was jacaranda, but George tells me it's boom. Boom. Wood. So we still don't know what kind of wood is it. If somebody knows, then
Boom, yeah, he's right.
and then I had a piece of I had a piece left of the wood, and I've combined it with some footy that I got from a friend. This wood comes from, the darker wood comes from Mozambique, and I combined the two and made the lamp. The way that I've just treated it, I've put wood up 5 on it, rubbed it down with steel wool, and then put a Danish oil on it. Came out very nice. Thank you very much.
I want to show you how easy it is to carve and whittle jacaranda wood. My wife keeps these calabashes as ornaments in the house. This one, its neck broke off, but I saw the design of it, so I made it. I'm going to leave it here, you can have a look at it here. And the other one, okay, this one was just bandsaw, rasp, and a bit of sandpaper. And the next one was the same process, but most people don't like them. You might even recognize it. Both are from jacaranda. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Joe bought me rosewood and maple. So I decided to cut it in half and stick it together and make a bowl. This is actually the first project I made. Once I finished, I took beeswax and did the finish with beeswax. Anyone else?
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's a lateral turn or pull from left to right. Now what I do is normally when I do demonstrations on these, first thing that I do is I decide if a client is very irritating. All I do is I go this side and I then turn it this way. Then what happens is all the debris flies to that side. Okay, so first thing I do is I move. And then, yeah, go. Normally what I do is I start from this side and work my way to that side. With other words, all the debris flies towards me. That's why I've got an apron. It's new from Vermont as well. Very, very nice aprons. It's a click-in system, so it works very nice. All my students will be getting them as well. Okay. Before I continue, the new one has changed a bit as regards to this. This has got 36 increments. And the slot, the new one has 22 increments. Simple reason, it still gives you every third or the 21 increments. So it still gives you the same as this, except it's 15 degrees apart, where this is 10 degrees apart. Okay, and it's got a pin that slides in from this side. I just prefer this one. You know, I always say the new is better, but the old, there's nothing wrong with the old. Right, let me get cracking and get this busy. Right, obviously always make sure safety first. Normally what I do is in a case like this I always bring my glasses with. Unfortunately so tonight I haven't brought them, so please excuse me for that one. Otherwise I normally get nailed. Where's your safety wear? Okay? Right, let's go. You need to turn this on. Right. Right, there we've got it. Your piece is round. What you can also now do is, if you'd like to, you can actually take this very slow and take it bit by bit. Your finish will be far superior than what I'm doing it now. And I'm not going to keep you here forever and a day. So I'm going a little bit faster than I'm supposed to. Also what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set my hold downs here on my headstock so that this is going to be kept into place. Because if you don't, you're going to find out that your polish is not going to work out. It's very, very important that you do that. Tighten them up nicely and neatly. Go around about twice if you want to. Now the beauty with this is if you want to replicate what you've got here, with say the other 3 legs that you've got for a small coffee table, what you then do is once you've set this, do your depth stop, plunge it down, make sure it's nice and tight, and that's it. So with other words, you can now go and duplicate exactly the same on the next leg and the next leg and the next leg as you'd like to. Okay, by changing your bit, you can change the profile. If you notice here at the bottom, have a look here, you'll see that this is where your waist is. Okay, that's why I say if your leg, your table leg's going to be say 430 or 420, 450, depending on what you want to do. Then you need to know that you've got to cut off approximately 20 mil. So make it that 20 mil a little bit longer. Okay. This is also ideal for turning walking canes. It's got the length for it. Okay. In effect, this is 1.2, effectively 1 meter turn piece that you're going to get out of it. Right. What we're going to do now is I'm going to do barleys. I'm not going to bore you people with all the trivialities of it. I'm going to use one of my carving bits. Looks like that. Okay, got it.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm tight.
Can't find it.
There you go. Somewhere.
Where is it?
Oh, there it is. Maybe too close. Wait, hang tight. There it is.
There we go.
You can't focus on it. Okay. Nonetheless, it's a carving bit. Okay, first thing that you do before you work on your router again, unplug. Okay. Take your router bit out. I assume everybody here has worked with a router before. So I know there's a couple of my students here as well. And if I may ask, Robert, ask me the Boekenstein. What is the rule, sir? How fast do we tighten this? Okay, well done. You've been one of my very, very first students. First thing that you do is if you tighten your outer bit, don't over tighten, put it approximately 20 mil in and use your pinky. It's called the pinky rule. So that you don't over tighten. So as you feel there and you feel the torque on your pinky, that's it. That's enough. I know if you use the earloops or we use 2 spanners, take your thumb and your finger there, index finger, and pull it tight full. You feel it hurts and then that's fine. Okay, otherwise you over tighten, you destroy your router bit, you destroy the collet, because your collet's got small fragments holding it together. So if you over tighten, you break it. Am I correct? Yeah? Cool. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to set this up. Now what I need to do is the next step, obviously please note, unplugged. Next step is to get this as close as possible to my workpiece and plunge it down so it's on its lowest. Okay? And you'll see that it's at an angle, so what I'm going to do now is drop it so that it's close to level, if not level. Right, that looks fair enough. Tighten up on the front, and we've now got a parallel basis. As I said, you can lift this up so you can get your tape up. Now what I need to do is I need to set my stops to where I want it to go or start, or stop rather. Okay, so what I will do is I'm going to do start on the one side, just right, release there. Now one of the tricks is with this, make sure that the Allen key or the bolt is not in the way of the cable. It's not going to be in the way of the cable, because otherwise you find that it keeps on snagging on it. Right. Tighten, don't over tighten. As I said, I've got 36 increments on this one, so I'm going to put it on the spot and I can now start. Now I'm going to line it up. Now for the demonstration as itself, I'm not going to go with a lot of bodies. I'm going to do 4 bodies only. Now if my math serves me correct, if I divide 36 by 4, I come out with 9. Look what I do is, look where I'm going to put the spiral. I'm going to go on the big spiral, pull the cable over the pulleys, okay, like that. It's nice and tight on that side. Take my electrical cable out first, and I'm going to slip this over the wheel on this side. Now this is the only thing that's going to take you the longest. Make sure that it's tight on this side and locked into place, and tighten this. This is going to be fairly tight. How about yours?
I was just looking at the bottom one. Is that behind the clamp?
Yeah, it's behind the clamp. It's on the...
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now the first one, we're not actually going to set the depth till we see that we're happy with the cut which we're going to get. Now have a look at this. This is quite nice. This is where the fun starts on it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it on this depth. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to put my plunge stop in and stop it there. Right, also now I'm on my spot there where I want to be. Now I need to do the second body of the 4. So remember, I've got to count 9, so be very careful. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I slot that into play. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the cable. I need to zero it again. In other words, bring it back to the beginning. Remember I said this is going to be the most work, which it is. So what I do is I'll pull it to the 0 point and there. Okay, obviously I've made sure that I have locked it in there, otherwise it's going to move and then your settings is going to be completely out. So I'll do my second cut. Right, second cut made. You can already see that the spirals are running parallel. So I'm going to do the third one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Remember, it's moved again. This takes me longer than actually cutting it. If you do make this, I suggest change that, put maybe a quick clamp on it. Look again what I do. Pull it over this side, over to this side. Make sure it doesn't snag in everywhere. Flip it over. Make sure it's on the side there. And tighten up. It is actually, it takes it feels sometimes like it takes long, but it's actually quite quick. I mean, if you take it, I don't know who of you guys have done this in the past. I know you can do it on a table saw, and you can whittle it out. I'm not sure which is the quicker or the safer one. This is definitely easier. Again, we're going to zero it, so in other words, what we do is now again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we do our last bar. You can do as much as you want, as little as you want, choice is yours. Okay, flip this over again. Okay, and there you go. You'll find out once you've started doing this quite a number of times, you actually get quite used to it. You get adapt, you adapt very quickly, and you land up with strong fingers. Right, last one. All four bodies have been done. What I would like to do is just very quickly do one turn for you so that you can see the difference. You can also do your straight flutes with this. In other words, all you lock it is into the spiral, take the cable off and just run it straight. But I'm just going to be a little bit on the difficult side. Please note how I put the cable up the first time. Okay, remember, it was running from the bottom over the top, correct? Look what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to take this, put this over the top of a pulley, go down. And that, make sure it's nice and tight there. Listen, I'm going to be a difficult customer. So remember what's happened now. Remember, when I pulled it, or when I turned it towards me. Okay? Look what's going to happen now. Now I'm going to pull it away from me. See? Right. I'm just going to do one so that you can see now. You can continue to do it all around so you can line up with the checker pattern. Small little tip, I know this might be old news to some of you guys. One thing that you always do, once you've put this in there, you've got a grab screw. If you want to take it out, and at some point in time you want to put it back for maybe recutting it or whatever the case may be, make sure that on the grab screw that you do make a mark on your piece of timber. circle, cross, doesn't matter, so that you know that lines up. So you put it back exactly the same way as you took it out. Especially on the lathe, normally we work with your lathe as well. So I'm going to take this out. And voila. There you go. It's very straightforward, simple. What you can do now is as well, if you'd like to, you can now take your straight cutter. Okay, obviously if you haven't turned the other inverted barley on this, you can then take your straight cutter and plunge it to just past the halfway mark. You continue with all of this. So then you'll end up where you do the whole game shade. It's got the hollow piece inside, just the 4 strands. My suggestion is don't do them more than 4 strands if you're going to hollow that. And use a decent timber to do it with as well. Right, any questions? Shoot, sir.
How do you determine the pitch?
With other words, on whether it's going to be a tight or narrow.
Yeah.
There's 3 pulleys on the side, yes sir. Have a look at it, just put it on your camera. There it is. You've got 3 pulleys on the side there. Going from the side. There you go. You can see there's your small one, medium, and the large. I've done now the large barley, pulley rather. So you can do, this will now give it elongated. If you go the small one, it's going to be quite tight. And that on that side, on that point as well, remember if you're busy with doing your barleys, make sure that you note that you keep it in the pulley where you took it out from. Okay, you're not going to be very impressed with yourself once you started doing it and you're on the finals of it and you put it into the wrong pulley. You find it out exactly when you start turning, believe me. I've done it a couple of times. You don't feel so impressed, especially when there's a lot of eyes looking at you. You know, you've got to press these out. Next moment, bam! It's actually a very nice little tool. You can keep this here. I've got so much of these and I've given so much away with each demonstration that I do. Simple reason, because people like it. In the past it used to be quite a mission to make this. And I think if you hurry, most probably what you're going to do is you're going to take a lot of different pieces of timber, laminate it at an angle, put it back again, and then turn it. Actually going to get a very nice segmented turned piece. Right, gentlemen and ladies, thank you so much for your time. If there's any questions afterwards, please do not hesitate. I'll hang around till you guys are done. If there's any questions that you need, or anything that's unclear. Thank you very much.
Nothing.
Do we get the apron when we buy one of these today?
Yes.
You're going to supply it. Yes, sir. Shoot.
No more questions. Multi, thank you for your time. Thanks for spending the time with us. I know there's a few people that are interested. I know one person in particular. I'll come use it next week after you've bought it. Multi, what we normally do, we present a certificate to our presenters, and on behalf of the East Rand Woodworkers Association, I'd like to present you this. I thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed your session. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'd just like to thank Neville Anderson for his continued